You're listening to the Hot Topix Podcast with Psycho 4081, the lovely Lady Lamb Chop, and the fabulous Felonious Feather. Let's get into it. Hey, welcome to another episode of Hot Topix Podcast. I'm Psycho 4081, and today we have a special guest. We have a woman who wears many hats, and we're going to talk about a few of those. We have Brooke Brimm. Thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
It's been a while, but I was trying to get you on the show for quite some time, because I do follow you. You have a large social media presence, and I've been following you for a while. So now that you're here, we're going to talk about some of these very interesting things, and we're going to start with your personal journey. So for those who don't know, you are a vegan, correct?
I am a vegan. I started about 6 years ago. I started a vegan group, just on a humbug. I'm a metaphysical practitioner and a yoga instructor. Yoga instructor. So my internet presence up until I started that group had really been about yoga and mindfulness. Everyday holistic, right? Okay. Everyday holistic living. But the interesting thing is, you happen to have posted an article on Facebook, maybe in 2018, that said that Black women or Black people were dying from soul food, eating soul food. You posted that. And so I was like, I think I got into a conversation with you about, hey, we don't really have to die from soul food. I've been making soul food for years, but just not with meat. Mm-hmm. So then my wheels started turning. I was already in a couple food groups, and I was already in a couple vegan groups. My wheels started turning, and I was like, we need a group that people just talk about how to prepare vegan food in a really yummy way. It's particularly as vegan soul food. And we don't need it to be about vegan politics. We don't need it to be about too much, crazy quackery in terms of health.
Right.
Don't want to shame each other. We just want to learn how to make good vegan food, because sometimes it's like a confusing subject for a lot of people if you've only eaten meat. Right? It's a lot of things to learn, a lot of things to explore. So I started that group in November 2019, and it's set, I would be the main one posting. I think I might be invited a couple hundred people that I knew that I thought were interested in that subject, and I would be the main one posting. And then around April 2020, the pandemic hit. So people got really interested in their health.
Okay.
And that group just started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And at the same time, Tabitha Brown, who was a famous vegan, she started blowing up on TikTok. So people just started getting really interested in vegan eating. So between Tabitha Brown, worrying about their health, just having a lot of time on their hands, people just started piling into that group. And I didn't even notice how big it was getting.
I did.
I didn't really notice because, I had been admin for another group that went up to about 4,000 or 7,000, something like that. Mm. So it was like, to see the numbers growing, I didn't really notice. But my sister, during the pandemic, we would take these little road trips where we could just be by ourselves in cabins and stuff for our vacation. Okay. And every time we'd be in the car, she'd say, every time we take one of these trips, you keep talking about that group growing by about 4,000 people. And I was like, really? Really? I didn't really pay it any attention. And then I started to notice it got bigger and bigger and bigger. And today, six years later, it's at 500,000.
500,000?
It's at 500,000 now. Yes.
Holy smokes.
6 years later.
Wow.
Yes, it is. So people are really interested in the subject, and they're also really interested in just learning how to cook things and learning about the foods and all of that, and not all the rest of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what we focus on. And then from there, I branched out into other social media because people just wanted to see more of me. So I started Instagram, Facebook. Instagram, I have about 171,000. Facebook, about 77,000.
Jeez.
TikTok, I just recently left TikTok alone. My channel is still there, but I won't be posting anything new there because of the new owners. The Ellisons, I'm just not, they're really trying to control media.
Okay.
So I want to do my little part to not be a part of that.
Okay.
So TikTok, I was live streaming on there quite regularly, but I'm not on there anymore. You can catch me live streaming on YouTube. I have about 6,000 on YouTube. You can catch me live streaming on YouTube a few nights a week. Okay. Definitely Saturday and Sunday, but then a few times during the weeknight as well. And then I still do a little sprinkles of yoga and mindfulness around as well.
So the yoga thing, was that part of the retreat? Because I remember you do the retreat, the women's retreat. Was that?
So I've been doing women's retreats for 10 years. I just got back from one last weekend. So yes, the yoga, well, I started my first one in 2017. And prior to that, I was facilitating other people's retreats.
Okay.
But in 2017, I hosted my own. I started my own. And I didn't have the money to hire like a chef. I was already a yoga instructor, so I was good on that, right? Okay. So I didn't need to hire a yoga instructor. I did mindfulness. I'm good on that. I also will always do creative activities. So because I'm a jewelry designer and things, I did that. So I could handle that. The food part, I was like, well, I can't afford a chef, so I'm going to have to do the food myself. So I took a whole week, not really a week, but like 3 or 4 days before the retreat, made up my food, put it in food savers, kind of froze it so that I had all the things that I need for the retreat ahead of time. So I took all my food up there to the retreat because I didn't have money for a chef, and that's the only reason why I did it. And people just were like, oh my God, this is amazing. You know what I mean? I was like, what? They like the food? I wouldn't have guessed that, and so when I realized, and this was before I even started the vegan group, when I realized how much they love the food, I thought, oh, women need to be nurtured. They take so much time cooking for other people, but they don't always have people to cook for them, just to sit down and enjoy a nice meal. They're always scrambling to get meals together for other people. And so when I discovered that, I really just made that a big part of my retreat. So when I do my retreats in the country, I always do all the cooking. If they're outside of the country, we use a chef.
Okay. Now, do you find that most of these women who go on your retreats, are they also vegan?
No, they're not.
Okay.
Many, some are, because when I started the retreats back in 2017, I used to serve turkey bacon, chicken, pescatarian things, vegetarian things, and vegan things as well. So I had a lot that I was covering, you know what I mean? Trying to please everyone. No pork, but, everything poultry and lower, yes.
Okay.
And so, but the people really did gravitate towards my vegan food and my vegetarian food most. And so when I just became known for my vegan brand, 800,000 across all my platforms, all my things, I just narrowed it down to all vegan cooking.
Okay.
It made it easier, and this is what people were expecting, and this is what they were willing to eat. Although they may not be 100% vegan themselves, many are pescatarian or, vegan curious and things like that. But because they know me, and the funny thing is, most of my followers in my group and all over, most of them are not 100% plant-based. They are more like vegan curious or pescatarian.
Okay. And you have several books.
Yes.
So you have the I guess the powerful online presence in the books. Was that the specific moment that you realized that the plant-based living could become of your life's mission, aside from all the other things you were doing?
Well, number one, I'm still not sure that the plant-based cooking is my life's mission.
Really?
Really. I have so much more to offer. It is a thing that I'm doing right now, and I'm very, I'm happy with it. But I don't know if it's my life's mission. And as a matter of fact, I am a metaphysical practitioner, which is a minister of metaphysics.
Okay.
And so my whole thing was serving. I call myself a minister of mind, body, and spirit. So my whole thing was to serve women, right? And to help them with self-discovery and serve their whole being. And so when this vegan thing came along, yes, I planned out where I wanted to be in the space, and I looked at, the gap analysis and things like that. I did a little bit of analysis to get into the space, but it really did come out of nowhere. So when it started getting bigger and bigger, I started saying to God, like, what is this? I thought I was doing yoga and mindfulness. What am I doing with the food? Why is this getting so big? It's supposed to get big the other way. What's going on? And God said to me, women self-soothe with food. Okay. And that self-soothing can actually be a problem for them. So here's what I mean. So self-soothing is a mental health term.
Okay.
Whereas we might, when we feel in danger, we might grab ourselves and hold ourselves or rock back and forth.
Okay.
We might drink alcohol to soothe ourselves. We may eat food to feel better. Like the time that we're living in this world right now, a lot of self-soothing, right? I've noticed that I've been eating a lot more desserts at night.
That's my self-soothing, is the sugar, which I got to stay away from.
Yeah. So God was like, women self-soothe, and that self-soothing is causing some to have high blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, all these kinds of things that could be avoided if we ate a little better. And so what you say and this is what God said to me. So you say you're about self-care for women. We'll start there. Okay. Start with the self-soothing. Teach them how to self-soothe in a way that is more healthy. Because and this is mostly, and I'm talking about, because mainly my audience is Black women, right? Mm-hmm. So we have to go out and face racism, microaggressions, all the things, getting fired, all these things all the time. And so we just come home and we just want to eat. Right. That was a lot. Let me just eat. That was a lot. And if what I'm doing, which I'm very proud of, is teaching people how to tweak the fork a little bit. Okay. So it can still taste amazing, but just add more veggies, add more plants, instead of maybe not, here are ways to make greens without all the pork or without all the smoked nitrites, because the nitrite meat is linked to dementia. So like all that smoked meat and the smoked cold cuts in the bacon, right? That's all linked to dementia. So we need to cut that out. You know what I mean? So if we can learn to use aromatics, like onions and garlics and peppers and celery, to season our greens and they taste amazing, then we're doing better for ourselves and we're making a good, healthy gut microbiome.
So you're saying no more smoked turkey? Right.
Okay. And in the smoked lunch meat, as the lunch meat is cured with nitrites. Okay. And those nitrites, you can look this up. It's linked to dementia and other things too, but dementia is what's becoming very, and then the amount of dementia that's going to be prevalent in the world is going to be 3 times the amount that's happening right now.
Really? All because of the food?
Yeah. Maybe it's by 2050, right? So what year? That is literally 24 years from now. And so who is that?
Our kids.
24 years, huh?
Our kids.
That's us. In 24 years, that's going to be us. Us. Not our kids, us.
Yeah, 24 years, I'll be what? 70. How old am I? I'll be 80.
Exactly. In 24 years, I'll be 80, 81 or something.
Yeah, you know you're only 1 year older than me.
Am I just 1 year older than you? It
Yeah.
seems like I'm like, is it just one? It really seems like it's like 2 or 3.
You're probably not even a full year older than me.
How old are you?
I'm 56.
Oh, we are the same age. I am 56 as well.
Yeah, you turned
So when do you
57.
turn?
I just turned 56 this year, January.
Oh, okay. And I turn in August.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. You less than
Oh,
a full
okay.
year. Yeah.
So, all right. So I'm going to stop calling you my little cousin then, because now I see that we're basically the same age. I didn't know we were the same age for that long together.
Yep.
That's a long time to be the same age. I'm really thinking I'm 2 years older.
But you know what? It is because when you're younger, that little bit of difference seems a whole lot back then.
Yeah. And then, but it was like I turned in the summer. Well, it's the end of the summer, but still the summer. So I really must have felt like I was big, bigger. Okay. Well, okay. I won't call you little cousin anymore because we're basically the same age. So, I didn't realize that.
You're author. I'm gonna talk about your books because I think I've bought all of your books, but I have yet to actually cook anything out of those books. I'm a lazy cook, right? And I typically don't, make too many things if it's more than 3 or 4 ingredients. So.
Right. Okay.
So what got you into the actual books? And then you had holiday meals. You had the first one.
Yeah. Well,
the first one wasn't a cookbook though.
First of all, my first book was a relationship book.
Right.
All right. It's called Love's Gumbo.
Yeah, Love Gumbo. Yes, right.
Love's Gumbo. Right. Loving and lasting relationships. Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's called. Love's Gumbo, ingredients for loving and lasting relationships.
Okay.
It was an ebook and you could get it on Amazon. I took it off of Amazon since then, but so that was my very first book, and I think I put that out in 2011.
Okay.
And so then in 2018, I wrote a book called Love God Herself, Yoga and Mindfulness for Black Women Who Follow the Christ.
Okay.
And then...
Is that still available?
It's still on Amazon, yes.
Okay.
It still sells, yes, on Amazon. Black women love that book. So a bunch of white ladies got into that book. They were evangelical white lady Christians, and they were into yoga, and they felt like some of the things that I wrote in the book really were truthful. It was a truth that resonated with them. I was a little put off that they were into a book that on the title said for Black women, but they were in there anyway. They
was invading.
Yeah, I was like, what are you even doing in here? But anyway, so that prompted me to write a journal called, the journal is called Love God Herself, a journaling workbook for inner healing, inner guidance, and inner peace.
Okay.
So that is for all women. So that was good. I thought I was done. Although I have 100 ISBN numbers just waiting for me to put some more books on it. But anyway.
Really?
I thought I was done. Yeah. The thing about this is just a side note. The thing about ISBN numbers, when you go to buy one, like if you're going to write a book and you want to self-publish, you get the ISBN number. You can buy one for $250. Or you can buy 100 for $500.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had to buy them. I thought they just when you publish, you just automatically get.
Well, if you do on Amazon, Amazon gives you an Amazon number, which is theirs is called like AISN or something like that. Okay. So they have their own Amazon number. You don't need an ISBN number, but if you want your book to show up in other places besides Amazon, then you need to get an ISBN number.
Okay. I learned something new.
So my book is all over the place. It's in very different places because I have an ISBN number. But anyway, so I had those and I thought I was done. And then the group started getting big. So like I said, it started getting big in in April. And then by October of 2020, people who were new into veganism and everything or eating vegan, started asking about the holidays. Oh, what are we going to do for Thanksgiving? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So I was like, hey guys, why don't we put together a cookbook from the group for Thanksgiving? Give me the submissions. You know what I mean? I already knew how to self-publish. Give me the submissions. Excuse me. I waited and I waited and I waited. Nobody was giving me submissions. No, I think they started asking questions about the holiday food around September. Nobody was giving submissions. And so I was like, oh my God, I told these people they were going to have a recipe guide and there's nothing. So I had to start writing it myself.
Oh.
So that's how I got started. And at the last minute, 2 young ladies, I paid them and they gave me some submissions.
Okay.
So I put out the holiday guide and I was giving it away for free in exchange for email. And I also was selling it on Amazon. And so it did pretty well. People were all excited and all of that. And I since pulled that one down, revised it, added more recipes, and now it's called the Vegan Soul Foodie Recipe Guide Traditional Family Meals.
Okay.
So it has all the things that you would need for holidays and Sunday meals, if people still do Sunday meals. It has all the things you would need for holiday special meals and things like that. Now, traditional soul food.
In that case, because I know I've looked at some of the cookbooks. Do you find that people say, well, "Hey, can you have something that is with the ingredients that are easy to find?" Like before, I didn't know they had that many types of mushrooms. You know.
Right. Well, I try to. This is why I like to go live streaming on YouTube. Is because that is a very real meal that's occurring in my kitchen with what I have on hand.
Okay.
So I don't have a cookbook. That's a good idea, though. A cookbook called like what you have on hand or simple ingredients. That's a good one, right? That's something to think about. But I do live streams with what I have on hand. Okay. And on those, I talk about, okay, I didn't have this today, but I had this, so we're going to use that instead, you know, because it's already all kinds of different ways to make a cream sauce. It's all kinds of different ways to make vegan fried fish. It's all kinds of different ways to make vegan fried chicken, you know. And so it's just all about what you have on hand.
Okay.
So when I do those live streams, people get to see what's in my actual kitchen. So, and I don't have this today, so I'm just going to go without, or I'm going to use this instead. You know, that kind of thing.
Would I equate that with Paula Deen? Right? Even with her, you know, her recipes or her cookbooks, whatever, was always things that the common person had. Wasn't healthy, not even the least bit. Right. But for a person who's who wants to learn how to cook certain things, you would kind of gravitate more to a Paula Deen because it was things that you knew was in your kitchen cabinet or you knew where to get, versus some of the other chefs where you like, you know, with ingredients that I had never heard of.
Right. I definitely feel like I am more like your mama cooking vegan food. You know what I mean? That's sort of like my brand. If your mama was a vegan, this is how she would cook, you know. Okay.
Now,
you know what I mean?
If you were trying to convince someone to go more, you know, on a vegan diet, what meal would you prepare to say, hey, look, this is what I made, and I know you will enjoy it, to actually, you know, consider a vegan lifestyle more? And I'm gonna ask you, what would you, when you say vegan, because a lot of people don't know that, what's the difference between vegan and vegetarian?
Okay, so first part of the question, I think I would just go with something like spaghetti with meat grounds or soaked walnuts. Okay. Like the soaked walnuts with sun-dried tomatoes and garlic and onions. That's going to be more complicated. But you can just go get yourself some grounds, or you can fry some tofu pretty hard and you make spaghetti out of that. So that's super easy, right?
You said grounds. What do you mean by grounds?
Vegan grounds. Like you just go to the supermarket in the frozen section. Mm-hmm. You can either get Beyond Meat or you can get a bag of what's called soy grounds or meat grounds or mince. People call it all kinds of different things.
Okay, I got you. I know.
But like ground meat, but it's frozen. What'd you say?
They call it crumbles.
Crumbles. There you go. That's crumbles. Okay. Yeah. So mince, grounds, crumbles.
Okay.
Or beyond, or any of that. You can that's a simple meal. You can add some mushrooms, some onions to it. You know what I mean? And it just tastes like meat. You wouldn't even really notice.
Right.
So that's super easy. You can do the same thing with tacos. Like, go ahead and just get yourself a box of the El Paso tacos. Use the same grounds or meat mince or crumbles, and season that up, and then put some avocado, some tomatoes, some onions. You know what I mean?
That sounds good.
And some salsa. Yeah, you did it. You know what I mean? So that's what I would go with.
Okay.
If you want to be more pure, just use some black beans instead of the grounds instead of crumbles. Yeah.
I would go with the black bean burger.
Black bean burgers are good. So the second thing you asked about, vegan versus vegetarian.
Yes.
Back when so I have been some form of vegetarian since 1992. It's been a long time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So back when I was vegetarian, and before the word vegan was in use, the word vegan didn't come in use until maybe the 2010s or maybe the 20s. 20 aughts, I don't know.
Okay.
We used to say, I'm vegetarian. And then the next question would be, are you strict vegetarian? Or you're not. So the strict vegetarian is what would be considered vegan right now. And that means you didn't eat any eggs, any cheese, any milk. But if you were just a regular vegetarian, which is now considered lacto-ovo vegetarian, you did eat cheese, you did eat milk, and you ate egg. So lacto-ovo means you eat egg and cheese. Strict vegetarian means you didn't eat egg and cheese and sometimes not honey. And then vegan comes along. It's like a strict vegetarian who doesn't eat honey at all.
I'd rather die.
I did not eat honey. Well, yeah. So in place of honey, we eat maple syrup, agave. Sometimes I eat honey because I don't consider myself, I say that I eat vegan. But I really consider myself plant dominant.
Okay.
Because I think that that's a way to explain my story since 1992. Because people get confused. So I've been eating 100% plant-based for the last 6 years. And people think that I've only been plant dominant for 6 years, but that's not true. It's more 30 plus. Okay. You know what I mean? So that means I haven't had a piece of chicken in 30 plus years. I haven't had a steak in 30 plus years. I did have fish because I was pescatarian in there, right? Okay. So that's still kind of plant dominant in there. But I haven't had lamb in 30 plus years, So
no turkey, bacon, burger. What is this thing against honey? Because that is actually my favorite substance on earth.
The whole thing with vegan, veganism, not eating vegan. I eat vegan. But if you are a vegan, that means you are an activist.
Oh,
on behalf of animals.
Okay.
You're an activist on behalf of animals. So bees would be considered exploiting the animals.
Okay. So, and these vegans, they don't wear leather shoes.
Exactly. They don't wear, but see, I do. See, I eat vegan. I'm not a vegan. I eat vegan.
You eat vegan.
So I do wear leather shoes. I have leather purses and things like that.
Okay. I would like to get a vegan extremist on here one day to see how far that goes, because it's almost impossible. I don't say it's impossible, but it's almost impossible not to exploit animals in so many ways. Like when you talk about clothing, footwear.
Right. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say they're extremists. They just believe what they believe. You know what I mean? They don't want to do anything that exploits or harms animals. And I really became plant dominant for health and spiritual reasons.
Okay.
So it's really more about keeping my temple clean, allowing my faculties to be clean so that I can be a conduit for God and that kind of thing. So it's a little, I didn't really do it because
of the animal thing.
Right. Okay. Because some of them, nothing, I'm nothing against vegans. I have nothing against them. But I do notice that some of them do make it like their religion and they care more about animals, it seems sometimes, than they care about people. But that's how it seems sometimes, but I don't know.
I had a conversation about that recently, and I think I'm part of that group as well, when it comes to even, as my years as a police officer, how can I would handle a human versus a animal like a dog or even a goat. It's totally different, because I think it goes to the mindset of you can't get mad at a goat for, doing what goats do,
Right.
So a little bit of different there. But yeah, I tried that for a little bit and it didn't work out for me because of the options that was available. I didn't know.
The veganism? You mean
Yes.
eating vegan?
Yes, eating
Yeah,
vegan.
that's that. I was just having this discussion with my husband the other day, that the real problem is getting good food fast.
Right.
It's an issue.
Yes.
And that's what kept me pescatarian for many years. It's just, I lived in a food desert. It was hard for me to just go out and quickly get some vegan food that tasted good, that wasn't expensive. You know what I mean? Whereas the fried fish and grits was right there. Right there. I lived in Atlanta in the hood. The fried fish and grits was right there anytime. This right there waiting for you. But if you wanted to eat vegan, you're gonna have to drive across town or you're gonna have to pay, $25 at minimum. It was just a much bigger ordeal. So that's what I was just discussing it with my husband. We were driving. We live in New Jersey now, which is like an ocean town, and it's all this seafood and everything. And I'm like, the funny thing is, we're around all this seafood and there's sushi places everywhere and all you can eat buffets with seafood, and I couldn't go back if I wanted to.
Really? So you don't miss certain things like the fish and grits or the shrimp and grits or
the taste of it? Yes. But when I process what it would take for me to sit down and eat a fish body, I can't do it. I can't do it. I remember one year I was eating vegan and my husband was still eating pescatarian. And to be nice to him, I went out and I ate fish with him because we had this place we would go to. It was a Vietnamese place and all of this stuff. So I went out and I ate fish with him just to be nice because it was, but my taste buds had shifted. I really had vegan taste buds. I didn't want the fish anymore. Eventually I did go back for quite a while, but that particular year I was eating vegan and I could just taste the rot. I could taste the deadness of the fish. And I was just like, ugh. I just left it. Like, I didn't say anything to him because he was having such a good time. I just was like eating the vegetables because I was like, oh God, I can't do it.
And I bet you it was good too.
It probably was. It was crab claws. It was probably very good. And so what really did it for me though, I was in, we were on, it was like a Christmas 2020, I think. We were having Christmas on the beach in St. Petersburg, Florida, and we loved the mullet there, the fish. We would go down to the fish market and they would bring the fish in nice and fresh. They just fished for it. It would still be in the coolers on ice. Fresh. So we bought our fresh fish and I started cleaning it and, doing all the things, eating it and fried it up. And we were just eating it. And my husband and I at the same time, without saying anything to each other, started getting a feeling like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. Oh, I just don't want to do this anymore.
Of distaste, like not so much the eating.
I don't know. It was the cleaning. It was the thought that it was an animal. It was just, I just was like, I can't do this anymore. And I didn't say anything, but my husband was thinking the same thing. And then, I don't know, we started walking on the beach and it's one of us confessed and the other one was like, me too. And that was it.
It's funny you said that, right? So my personal philosophy and, my whole desire to go to Africa and have the big land and all the different animals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I can't eat anything that I could see as a pet. So my diet, goats, cows, rabbits, all of those things, sheep, all of those things are off the menu. And I guarantee you, if I get over there and I actually have some chickens or whatever, and I get one time to pet them or they follow me around, whatever, they're going to be off the menu as well. So I definitely understand that part because I can't do it.
Did you see Cat Williams say he has a whole, he hasn't eaten any of those. He hasn't killed nobody.
That was hilarious. That was hilarious. But I feel him on that because, like I said, my animals, you know, they're gonna have names. I already know it. I know how I'm gonna be. They're gonna have names, and then next, you know, I'm gonna end up being. I can't say I'm gonna be a vegan because I love honey. I definitely love honey.
Well, yeah. I mean, I eat it sometimes. You know, if I have to. Sometimes I don't buy it that much, but if something I want, I'll eat the honey.
That's sometimes. The one thing. If God would say, "Hey, I'm gonna let you eat one thing for the rest of your life, where it's not gonna be detrimental to your health," it'll be honey.
Really?
Without a question, without a delay, honey.
Shut up.
Yes.
I used to think that I loved the butter. Now I can't stand the taste of butter, the smell of it, anything of butter. Oh my God, it's the worst. I can't. Ooh.
You talking about real butter?
Real butter.
Real butter.
I cannot do it. Real butter. Cause say if there's a baked good and it was made without butter, but it was made with milk and egg, and it's somebody's birthday or something, I might have a little bit because it's like hidden in there.
Right.
I might have it. But if I taste it and I taste butter,
it's done.
I gotta leave the whole thing.
Okay, so let me give you questions real quick. Name some things that are good substitutes or alternatives for, let's say, a meat product or a meat recipe. Like, for example, you mentioned you made something one time when you was in New Jersey. We had the pot. It was something
etouffee.
Whatever it was good, and I was surprised.
I made mushroom etouffee.
That's what. Okay, it was good, and I was surprised because I was gonna say, all right, I'm gonna taste it.
Well, for a funeral, right?
Yes.
And it was at your sister's house?
Yes.
Yeah, that was mushroom etouffee.
Okay,
yeah.
It was really good. I was gonna say it was good just to support. Say, oh, you know, you did. It was a nice thing you did. But it was actually good, and I was surprised. But some of the things, like what are some things that you know offhand that could replace meat products?
So many things. Of course, mushrooms. Mushrooms are the most versatile thing. They can replace fish. You get seafood mushrooms. I made, you know how on the boardwalk people get those clam strips?
Yes.
So I made clam strips out of seafood mushrooms. Delicious. We took that on the beach. It was delicious.
Now, when you say seafood mushrooms, is that
there's a mushroom. It tastes a little bit like seafood, and it looks like fingers.
Okay.
You just cut off the end, so it looks a lot like clam strips already, and you just bread it with, you know, fish seasoning like Old Bay and maybe some Zatarain cornmeal.
Okay.
And fry that up. It tastes a lot like a seafood, like a clam strip. King oyster mushrooms is a big sturdy mushroom. Mushrooms all day are going to be able to mimic all kinds of meat. King oyster mushrooms is going to mimic, like if you could put that inside an oxtail, you can make a pulled pork. You can make that into a shrimp. You can make that into a scallop.
Okay.
You know, you can make that into fried chicken.
Oh, so that's what I'm about to ask you. All right. So I'm going to throw fried chicken. You said the oyster mushroom.
So one king oyster mushroom is the strong one. And then there's a really delicate one called just plain oyster mushroom. And the oyster mushroom, I use that to make clam sauce, like white clam sauce. Okay. I use that to make vegan fried chicken. I use that to make vegan shrimp or oysters. Use that to make just anything, you know, all kinds of things.
You had something, a cheese sauce of some sort. I remember. What was that made from? Like if I wanted to make mac and cheese, or I wanted to make something.
Okay, so thing. Cashews, You can make it from cashews, soaked cashews. But then you can make a cheese sauce just from garlic, oil, plant-based milk, salt, mustard.
Okay. Plant-based milk.
Nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast.
Okay. No. Plant-based milk. What is that?
Like soy milk or almond milk.
I got it.
Or
okay, like oat milk, all that. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had that for a while. Oat milk kind of puts weight on you, but I do love almond milk. Can't stand rice milk. I won't touch soy, but
have you tried flaxseed milk?
I have not.
It's nice.
Okay, I do take flax
I
seeds.
also make it out of hemp seed. It's all good.
Really? I'm gonna have to jump in it because I'm really curious about that. And then let's say beef. Let's say somebody wants some ribs.
Okay, so for ribs, I use either Beyond Meat, King Oyster mushroom shredded, jackfruit, and then vegetables and seasoning.
Okay.
Or you can use what's called Vital Wheat gluten in exactly the same way.
Okay.
But Vital Wheat gluten takes longer. Beyond takes, under an hour.
Okay. Lobster.
There's a such thing as a lobster mushroom.
Really?
Yes. It's very hard to find. This is the season to find it, I think. Lobster mushroom. But in that case, I probably also would just go get something like vegan shrimp, which is made from konjac root.
Konjac root.
So konjac root is very popular in Asia. It's really good for weight loss as well.
Okay.
And they extrude it through like a mold or something, and make it into a shape and put seafood flavorings in it. It can be a little rubbery, but if you chop it thin enough, it's pretty good.
Now, would you say that, and I'm going by, my perspective as a person who would say that, let me try to live this particular lifestyle. Would you say it would be more expensive to live a vegan?
It's not. It's not more expensive if you're very plant forward. If you are processed food forward, it is.
Okay.
So if you buy a big bag of raw cashews, and they might be $15, they might even be $20, but it's a huge bag. So you can soak a little bit of that, and that'll last you months. You're making all kinds of vegan cheeses and sour creams and sauces for your lasagna. You soak it or boil it.
Does it turn into mush or something? Or
No, you just have to soak off. See, nuts are really a self-contained little seed that's meant to be a tree.
Right.
Right? And so they have a little protective coating that God gave them to help them along their journey. Mm-hmm. And that little protective coating has to be soaked off or boiled off so that we can digest it. Okay. Because if it's not soaked off or boiled off, it's going to cause us digestion problems. You hear people say, I have nut problems, beans, nuts, because they're meant to be seeds. They're meant to have a journey of growing into a tree. So they have things inside of them to make them do that. But when we decide to eat them, we need to soak that away or boil that away.
And I've heard that with almonds, actually. It said you should actually soak them and remove that outer layer. Okay. Yeah. That's interesting.
You got to soak that away so that it's more digestible. And so when you soak your cashews and make them nice and soft, it also makes it so it's easily blendable and nice and creamy.
How I know you've been eating this way for a while. How do you think? Have you had any feedback when somebody compares, like, okay, this is a vegan cheese versus the regular cheese? What kind of feedback have you gotten with that?
Well, my main thing with vegan cheese is I do not like the heated up texture. So when people say they want it melted, I personally don't love that texture. And I'll tell you, but some people might not mind. So if you were a person who liked Velveeta or American cheese food, American slices, that's like cheese food.
Right.
If you didn't mind that texture melted, then you're not going to mind vegan cheese melted.
Okay.
But I wasn't that type of person. I liked melted Swiss, melted provolone. It's stretchy. It has a different feel. It feels good on your mouth. I liked cheese that I liked good cheese.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't like Velveeta. I never liked the texture of Velveeta. I never wanted it anywhere near me.
Really?
Same thing with American cheese. Never wanted it anywhere. Those Kraft slices. Ooh,
Yeah.
didn't want it anywhere near me. So if you didn't mind that, then you won't mind melted vegan cheese because it feels kind of like not great to your mouth. To me,
the texture,
the flavor, though, the texture, the flavor of vegan cheeses, though, have come so far. When I was in the late 90s, late 90s, they used to have these things called veggie slices. And we were so excited to have those. They were in the supermarket in the produce section, and we were just so happy to see plant-based cheese in the supermarket.
Oh,
that we can go and get at the supermarket.
Okay, yeah, I've never seen that.
Veggie slices. They were horrible. But we could just get them in the supermarket. Amazing. We didn't have to go to the health food store or anything. We would go and we would buy them. But now the cheese game is so amazing. The only thing is, I treat it when I melt it. Last night I made a cheesesteak.
Okay.
And I put my cashew sauce on first and just a little bit of the vegan hot pepper cheese on top, because that kind of mitigates the texture issue.
Okay.
Because of the sauce. I don't know how to explain it, but the sauce kind of comes around and makes it more like a cheese sauce instead of like this gloppy stuff. And the flavor is good. So that was amazing last night. But for the most part, I don't love melted vegan cheese. I do like the vegan blue cheese is amazing. Vegan feta is amazing. Vegan Parmesan is good. There's just a lot of choices, and especially if you're eating it cold, it's really good.
I'm going to have to see or to try out all these different versions to see if I could switch over. And I went to what's it called? The Vegan Soul Fest in Baltimore some years ago. And,
oh, yeah. I want to get to that.
Oh, man. They had so many different vendors and I tried everything, especially even the desserts. The desserts were phenomenal, but it was something that I didn't like. And I believe it was when they had it formed to look like shrimp, whatever that was, whatever seafood they had, it was horrible.
Rubbery. Was it rubbery?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And, but I did love, what's it called? Slutty Vegan? Yeah. Slutty Vegan.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I did like their thing. So I think for the average person, when they look at that, they're going to look at price. Like, is it going to cost me a lot to switch over? And then if I do, is it going to actually taste?
Well, see, the thing is, like I said, if you're going to go with all processed things, it can get pricey.
Okay.
But if you're going to be making things yourself, if you're mostly going to be doing make your own nut sauce and your own veggies and things like that, it's quite affordable.
Okay.
What I do is there's a little farmer's market that's like a couple miles from me.
Mm-hmm.
And I go there almost every day. And I go to their markdown section because everything is so expensive. Everything.
Yeah. You're not talking about Produce Junction, are you?
No, I'm talking about BF. I don't want to say because I don't want anybody to know.
Everybody, she's gatekeeping.
It's my secret. I almost slipped up and said the name, but no, I'm not telling my secret. Find your own. No, but I've done this everywhere I lived. I lived in Texas, Florida, Georgia, but because New Jersey is the Garden State, this is the best one that I've ever had.
Okay.
I always go to you can go to any Sprouts, you can go to any Whole Foods, anything, especially if you go in the morning. Go to the markdown section and choose what they have, and then be prepared to make it that day, if not the next day. The next day at the latest. But if you go in there, be ready to make, just whatever they have, that's what I'm making.
Okay.
And I mean, I could get produce for like 34 cents, 50 cents, 80 cents. That's why I'm not telling you the name.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Nope. No.
You know what my dad used to say, right? He used to
What?
say, the cost, when people find out the cost of certain things, like they would get like chitlings or any of the stuff that he said, once the the other people come and find out about it, they start jacking up the prices. And the same thing, me and my homie Andre, you remember Andre Murphy?
Yes.
All right. Well, so
short, light skinned guy.
Yes, we used to go fishing all the time. I ain't never caught nothing, but but I used to stop in at one of the fish markets on the way down to his house so we can go fishing or whatever. And they would give us what was it? The fish heads.
Yeah.
Oh no, was it for crabbing? It was for both. Yeah. And I guess it must have got popular because then instead of just giving it to us, they started charging us.
See? Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. This is the same thing with mushrooms. Nobody. I always say I'm partly to blame here because I started this huge group, and oyster mushrooms used to be cheap.
Right. So everybody's snatching them up.
Now they're like $8, a pound. They used to be $3. You know what I mean? It was cheap. You could go get your oyster mushrooms, no problem. But I started this group, and everybody started talking and moving and sharing and and vegan chefs everywhere. And now the damn mushrooms are crazy.
But you have 800,000 followers across the platforms.
Yeah.
Right. That's a lot of people to reach.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to go sneak in and steal some of your people.
You want to steal my people? Well, when I share this podcast, maybe you'll get some.
So hey, listen, if you guys are out there listening and you're a follower of Brooke Brimm, that's how I'm gonna steal our people. Jump on there. We're gonna make her come back for a couple more episodes, and you can get it live and direct. And we do contests as well. Oh, speaking of which, let me throw this out there because I know I don't want to go too long, but at the Hot Topix Podcast, we usually have a word of the day, and if for the subscribers, whomever, if they get the word of the day for each episode for that month, they get to win a prize. Now, the prize was originally going to be like a stupid prize, but we got some donations in and stuff like that, so usually is a good prize. Nobody ever claims them except for people overseas.
Oh.
Yeah, so I end up giving them a cash of equivalent, whatever. So give us a word of the day. And for those who are following, if you get all the words of the day, you email us at Hot Topix Podcast. That's HOTTOPIX podcast @gmail.com with the words of the day for, I guess this will be the month of March. And you'll have a chance to win a free prize. And it's as simple as that. It's first come, first serve. But if you get all the words, first come, first serve, you get a free prize. So give us a word of the day. Snickerdoodle. Oh, we are synced. Guess what I made today?
What?
Snickerdoodles.
Did you?
I did.
I love it.
I did.
I love it.
They're still sitting over there in the kitchen. I love snickerdoodles. But
okay.
All right. So the word of the day is snickerdoodle. So you guys write it down, send it in when it's time. You'll know and collect your free prize. So, but I want to thank you. You got to come back because I wanted to go more into the women's retreats, the empowerment, the yoga. See, I didn't know you had I knew you had some hats. I didn't know you had all of these hats.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I knew you did what's the word I'm looking for? But you did weddings. You married people.
Yes, I was an officiant. I did like 60 weddings and I gave it up.
Oh, why?
I heard this little whisper in the back of my mind one day. Somebody mentioned a wedding and I heard a whisper say, I hate weddings. And I was like, oops. I said, oops. If I'm starting to feel like that, I got to get out of this. These are people's memories. I have to go.
I was like, oh, you see her on Facebook, whatever, and or the update said, yeah, I performed this ceremony, blah, blah, blah. I said, yo, she's over there ruining lives.
And I like to watch because my husband and I would also do couples therapy too.
Okay.
We would do couples, not therapy, but couples guidance before or after the wedding for the people that I married. A lot of times we would go through, like I developed a whole program of self-discovery. So we would go through that. And I think most of those people are like successful. I don't know. I hope they're successful, but I've seen some people that I've married, not married anymore.
Really?
I've seen some people that I've married, not married anymore.
So now, I'm glad you mentioned that, and this will be a whole total different subject. But do you feel our community, the Black community, are so hesitant to get counseling for whether it be for relationships or their personal demons, premarital counseling?
Yeah, I think that it's becoming less of a thing.
Okay.
I think for our generation and above, it's still a thing not to get counseling or not to see, go see the pastor or whatever.
Right.
But I think for younger generations, it's definitely normal. It's becoming normalized to get help.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause I
Like
remember I
everyone
was
in our
against it.
family, every person in our family has seen a therapist. My son, he wants to find somebody more regular, someone he trusts more. He only saw somebody one time, but every person in our home has seen a therapist for when we need it.
Right.
My husband, when he got sick, he needed it. When he got sick, I needed it. And other times, and my daughters just coming of age, when they felt like they needed it.
Right.
And now my son he's an adolescent and he feels like he needs it. So yeah, I think it's more normalized amongst the young people.
That's a good thing. And like I said, I was totally against it. And when I was growing up in my early adult years until I think I've seen other people getting it, and I was like, no, I ain't gonna lie. I think one of the doctors told me to go see a therapist. So,
yeah.
But I got a lot out of it. So I was like, oh, okay,
yes.
Maybe more people need to do that.
Yeah, you do get a lot out of it. And and it's one thing that I needed. When I started this brand and we talk about 800,000 across all the platforms. Ooh. That was a lot of chatter, a lot of comments. You see internet comments. Mm-hmm. So I imagine, you're one little person and you're hearing all this stuff and all this and all the things. And I definitely went through that. And so I got tired of like talking to so many people about it, complaining and trying to tell them my perspective and try to explain to them why I felt triggered and why I felt a certain way. So I finally was like, let me go get myself a therapist because they got to listen to me for an hour.
Right.
So, Facts. And it really did help. It helped me to see a lot of things.
Right.
But yeah, that experience of kind of blowing up on the internet, I had to go see a therapist for that.
Okay.
Because of that.
Well, yeah. I am definitely a proponent of people seeing a therapist because especially in our community, it was always, how it was growing up. It was like, keep your business in the house.
Keep your business to yourself. Are you crazy and all that kind of stuff? But no, really, it's just good to help organize your thoughts by letting someone else. Like even if you have a thought in your head and you believe it's true, and let's say you're just doing telehealth, and you see that person's face change because of something crazy that you said, and it makes you say, "Oh wait, hold on, wait a minute, okay, maybe that's not what I thought it was."
That would be hilarious. That could be damaging, but it's hilarious.
But it's important because some people will try to use an app or they'll try to use ChatGPT and all these things to be their therapy. But you don't need somebody who's just going to keep gassing you up.
Right.
You need real human interaction so that you can see a person say, is that what you thought? Oh, right. You need to see their reaction to your inner chatter.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So definitely wanted you originally. I wanted you to come in with the scenario episodes because we had all male scenarios, and if you get an opportunity to check out the last episode, it was called Scenarios 1. What would you do? And like I said, that's the perspective of the males. So,
yes.
Don't think too much of it. So.
You're funny.
Lord. But yeah, thank you for coming in. Did you want to throw your Facebook group name out there?
Yeah, so you can search for me anywhere on the internet. Vegan Soul Foodie.
Vegan Soul Foodie. Okay.
And you will find me all over the internet, cooking, my group, all the whole thing. Vegan Soul Foodie.
Okay. Vegan Soul Foodie. Check her out. And all platforms except for TikTok. No more TikTok.
Right. I'm still over there. You'll find my content, but you won't find me. I won't be commenting back.
Okay. So, and you guys listen, we're gonna throw a song out at the end. I decided to add that in there. So stay tuned and listen to the song. Let me know what you feel about it, good, bad, or indifferent, whatever. I want to hear it. But thank you all for joining.
Hey, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I'm still in this with you. No matter how hard it gets, no matter what we do, no matter how long it's been, I'm still in this with you. Let's say it again. No matter how hard it gets, no matter what we do, no matter how long it's been, I'm still in this with you. Still in this with you. I'm still in this with you. Still in this with you. Baby, I wanted to fix all that what was wrong. Yeah, these problems kept me up all night long. Oh no, I tried to do what a good woman should do, yeah. Yeah, I tried to take care of both me and you too. I refused to let us live in poverty, no. Ooh, but it seems I'm failing so miserably. Oh, no matter how hard it gets, no matter what we do, no matter how long it's been, I'm still in this with you. Let's say it again. No matter how hard it gets, no matter what we do, no matter how long it's been, I'm still in this with you. Still in this with you. Oh, I'm still in this with you. Still in this with you. I heard some people say that love can fix it all. Well, the love of money sets us up for the fall. Maybe I kept trying to do more than I could, but I believe that things will always turn out good. I need you to have patience and truly believe if I love you and you love me, we can achieve can lovers do? Our options open.